Hi everybody, it's Dyslexic Dylan here with his first interview, and this is James Uso, our special guest. Okay, so we're here today to talk about the journeys of being dyslexic and what you can do with it, and how a disability doesn't slow you down. It makes you different, but how can I be different if you're different? And everybody else is different, so we're all the same because we are all different. If you can't grasp that, I'm sorry, you can email me. We're here to talk about my journey. James was there from when I started to overcome it. And he got to see a lot, maybe see too much through the sun behind closed doors, but that's okay. We only grow and learn from those experiences. So we're going to talk about how your mindset, my mindset was freshman year when I was dyslexic and didn't know it was, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Hopefully the work won't be there when I get back. I'm going to stare out the window during class. Hopefully the work will be done when I get back. And I'm just I used to do patterns on tests. So I do ABC, C, D, B, B, C, A, B, C, C, B, A, B, 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 C, C, C on like a test. I'll be impressed if I get nothing right. Like that takes skill if I get nothing right. So that was the game. And I remember a friend, we call her Chad. She sat me down. We're in class freshman year. And she said, Dylan, you should really take this seriously. Like, to get your head in the game, you need to stop avoiding your work. You need to stop doing things outside of school, doing the time, and just sit down, focus, get your work done, improve. And we did band together, wrestling. I wasn't really into it at the time. And I didn't have the right headspace at the time. I was just trying to avoid everything. And I had to learn, obviously, K through 10th, not knowing how to read or how many letters there were in the alphabet. Obviously, you got to figure out how to get through. And it was mind-boggling when everybody found out what I did, get through K to 10 without anybody knowing I was dyslexic, and getting through was the impressive part. What did you see through your filter of the experience?
I saw a lot of different things. I saw you from band. I didn't really see you as much in class. I can only imagine how that must have went from what you're saying. I knew you most well through wrestling because when I started to actually, get close with you, you were in 10th grade. Really buckle down and really focus, and I got to watch you just consistently putting in work every single day and always trying to improve yourself, and really watch you, grow like a lot through all of those things. So it was pretty cool.
And looking back at your birthday party, the first time I went to one of your birthday parties, I was a chubby man. I was chubby.
That was 10th grade for you, right?
Yeah, that's when I got off my meds, found out I was dyslexic, and I threw my summer away. I wasn't a kid that summer. I had to go to a tutor and learn how to read and learn the alphabet. I'll tell you what, graduating felt like I conquered so much, and I conquered so little in retrospect, because that was 6 months ago. And what I've done with that 6 months is good. I'm impressed with myself, but the best thing is there's more to come. We're just getting started. Like if I just started now, and not retrospect to my career, just with this, me opening my mouth and getting a following, and I had somebody reach out to me and say, you've changed my outlook on everything. I look at your Instagram to get myself through the day. I think of you to get myself through the day. I watch my YouTube videos to get myself through the day, and you've helped me more than doctors and my parents. It was like, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm reaching out. That's why I'm telling my story, because there's hope. There's no reason you shouldn't have it. I was in a fortunate spot to Zoom with kids in Kenya, Africa, and tell them that, hey, you're in Kenya, Africa. I came from Russia. I almost died as an orphan, but look at me now. I've done so much, overcome so much, come so far, but I'm not where I want to be.
I think every single human is capable of so much. We all have so much potential. And of course, there's a lot of adversity that you have to overcome. Everybody has their struggles. For you, it's dyslexia. Everybody has their own struggles, no matter what. Nobody can say that they've never struggled in their life.
And you went from not being able to run/walk, you had 20-something surgeries, to the captain of the track team.
Couldn't really walk until I was about 8. It took a bunch of surgeries, a lot of doctors, a lot of visits all over the place. We did everything we could. Grateful that my parents did do that for me, because now I use that, to motivate me. I use being grateful as motivation, every day. I don't always want to run, but I think I don't have to run. I get to run, I have the opportunity. I might not have been able to do this before, but now I'm capable of this. So I want to see how far I can go. I want to see what I can push my body to because I have the ability to do that. So why would I, not touch all of that potential? There's so much that I can do, and maybe it's so many people who I can help and so many people who can inspire. Like, everybody has so much potential, and it's just about reaching for it and really, driving through everything, pushing through adversity, and you can really, help a lot of people.
You were a big inspiration of mine. You would mention to me that you get up at 5 a.m. to work out, you do these, and you go on hikes, and when you're done with school, you go to track practice, but after that, that's not enough. You go home and lift, and I'm like, oh, wow, I'm going to start now. Watch motivational speaking. I listen to a motivational speaking podcast on the way to work every day, and I listen to one before bed, so that is my mindset,
Exactly.
ending and starting the day. But the tomorrow theory is, for anybody who doesn't know that's watching this, tomorrow's not promised. It's taken for granted 99.9% of the time. So when people say I'm going to start tomorrow in regards to a diet, a workout, test, homework, why say tomorrow? What's wrong with today? You're doing it. You could just do it. Do it now and get it out of the way. But if you really want to do it, like I love the thought, because I practice if you follow me on my social media, I practice this is what I look like on a Monday. Now, this is what I learned Monday. I write everything down in a notebook. I don't read one thing. Things that maybe I wrote an email, I sent it too fast and it wasn't right punctuation. Maybe I talked to somebody, I wasn't saying the right things. Maybe I got somewhere too early or too late in my vision, and maybe I did something not the right way, or I could have done it better. So I write that stuff down in my notebook all day. Close the notebook at the end of the day, sign out and leave my office. On Tuesday, now that Monday Dylan's gone forever because you'll never get him back, he reads that notebook that Monday Dylan wrote. This is what he learned. Now I'm going to take advantage of this, and I'm going to use these in my today, and I'm going to improve myself so Wednesday Dylan can be better than I was. And he can be 2 times as good as Monday Dylan was. That's how I look at my day.
I just wanted to touch on how, like you said, you listen to motivational speaking before you go to bed.
Yes.
All throughout the day. So I'm not sure if you've heard about this. There's this theory that a lot of people talk about. They say inside of everybody there are 2 wolves. There's a good one and there's a bad one, and they're both hungry. They're both really hungry. They both want to eat. Whichever one you feed is going to be the one that grows and the one that lives. Whichever one that you're not feeding is going to starve. So if you keep feeding the good wolf, then you're going to keep growing. You keep, maybe every night you're looking on social media, you're looking at the news, you're feeding that bad wolf with all of this negativity, and it's only going to do more damage because you're killing the good one, and the other one's growing and growing. And I think that's really awesome that you do that, because you're just you're feeding the good wolf.
The theory behind bedtime, right? If I go to bed, I don't do TV, I don't do social media. I plug my phone in. I always plug it on my TV stand, because if I wake up and it's in my bed and it's going off, I can turn it off. But if my alarm's going off on my TV stand, I gotta get up and get it. So the theory behind that is, if I fall asleep to it, you take things in while you're sleeping, you don't even know it, and that becomes a dream, and then you wake up and then that's in your head. So you fall asleep thinking about it, you dream about it, you wake up thinking about it, and then you listen to something new the next day, and you use all of that within that 12-13 hours.
Yeah.
And that's what helps Wednesday Dylan be better than Tuesday. Another factor is, we're not all perfect, and nobody's perfect. We're all different in our own beautiful ways. But exercise, whether you're 300 pounds, there's nothing wrong with it. You're beautiful, and you go on a mile walk or half a mile walk just to get your shit moving. Do it. That's how I started when I was 150 pounds of fat. I started going on walks with my brother late at night, and we would just walk until we couldn't anymore. And that's when growth comes in. I went to a wrestling academy, as you know, and the biggest model there was, you're never tired, you're only uncomfortable. It makes so much sense. And as you know, our wrestling coach of last year said, everything in life is easy after you wrestle. And I truly do believe that.
And you have to be uncomfortable in order to grow. If you really want to grow, you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. You have to be uncomfortable, and there's nothing wrong with being uncomfortable. That's how you grow. If you keep doing the same thing without trying to get any better because you're afraid of getting tired or afraid of pain and being uncomfortable, then you're not going to grow.
You have to embrace, with anything. My whole outlook on everything is, I'm not working for me. I'm working for 29-year-old Dylan. I want 29-year-old Dylan look at 19-year-old Dylan and say, thank God you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what you did, that's where I am today. I don't want to be 29-year-old Dylan and look back at 19 and be like, what were you doing? We could have done this, this, and this, and this, and we would have been here, but you chose not to. I don't ever want to look back and be like, oh, I should have done this.
You know, you can't do more than your best. You don't want to jam pack every second of, you know, every single millisecond of every day, but you want to do the best that you can do. You don't want to leave anything in the tank, you know? Our coach talked about was he told us that, like, you should, you know, be proud. You should always be proud of the work that you're putting in, but you should never be satisfied. Go to bed at night, you don't want to regret your day. You don't want to regret anything. Of course, you want to be proud of, you know, putting all that work in. It's amazing. You know, you should always be proud of yourself and be confident in what you do, but never be satisfied, because then you wake up the next morning, you know, you're proud of what you did the day before, but you're still hungry and you keep pushing towards what you're trying to do.
And exactly, and I completely agree with that. And if people don't do that, I don't know why. I have two mottos, right? One is change nothing, nothing changes. It's the same word. It's the same 3 words. Change nothing, nothing changes, but it has so much meaning. And then the other one is when people say I can't, use word into how can I? Oh my God, it's a new level. You unlock a new level.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how I look at life.
Mm-hmm.
When I went from running 5 miles at the most at a hard, like I'm barely chugging through, now I'm at a place where 5 miles a night, my relaxing night, and I go home and I think I could have run more. That was not good enough. Like I cheated myself. And that's how I think. And that's how I don't believe we all should think, but there's a reason there's a 1 percentile. That's because other people want so many things. They want to do great things, but they don't put their foot down and they don't stick down and go through the hard times.
Yeah, it's all about that mindset, and it's all about your perspective. Like, you know, it's the way you look at things, because there's so many things when so many people are just like, oh, I don't want to do that, you know, that's gonna be hard. But like exactly what you were saying before, like you think you want to be in an office right now, you know, everybody else is out partying, but you're not looking at it like, oh, I have to get up, I have to go to work. You're thinking, look at what I'm about to do, look at how much I'm about to accomplish. There's so many situations that just by changing your view and just changing your perspective on it, it completely changes the situation. You know, you just look at it from a different angle. You look at the good side. I mean, of course, you look at the bad thing. What can you improve on? How can you do this? But you don't let anything weigh you down. You know, you
exactly.
Look at
and
it
like,
from a view.
It's easy to say, I'm starting tomorrow. Where the hard part starts is the minute you start, and that's why people get turned off. People they give up when it's hard, and that's why it's a different mindset. And it's so easy to say no, I'm not doing that. It's so easy to come home from work and lay down and fall asleep and eat just whatever you want. But I love a challenge, and I love seeing myself improve, and I love looking at myself 6 months ago and being like, I don't recognize him. It's great. I feel like such a positive circle I've got set up right now where you motivate me, I motivate you. We get together, we make an interview.
Yeah, even if you just change one person's whole world, that's in somebody's whole world. You know, one person, it makes a difference. It really does.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate you having patience for the technical difficulties. I hope this works.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
This is Dylan with dyslexia, and this has been interview number 1. I'd add one more thing. This is a snippet for whoever hangs around at the end. Workouts, mindset, but when you eat better, your mindset and workouts are easier, and you get to perform that much better. All right, I'm ending with that. James, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you highly. You and your family are beautiful.
Thank you, man.
What a wonderful world.